Well, the new Spongebob game came out. I love the show, so we'll see how this turns out. Graphics look good. Looks well animated. Oh my goodness! Before I continue this video, I just want to state that I did not play the original Battle for Bikini Bottom. I played both The Curse of the Flying Dutchman and the movie game, but somehow just missed out on this one. So while this game is new to me, the gameplay loop itself was fairly similar to the movie game, so I already knew what to expect in terms of controls and gameplay mechanics. Essentially, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is a collectathon with fun platforming and simple combat. This gameplay loop flows pretty well, especially with the upgraded graphics, for the most part at least. We'll get to that later. Your main collectibles are golden spatulas, which are found throughout the levels or are given to you after doing specific tasks. You need to collect these in order to have access to levels and progress further into Bikini Bottom. You also can find Patrick's socks to return to him for more golden spatulas. There is also a currency called shiny objects that can be used to open up another section of a level or to buy golden spatulas from Mr. Krabs. Most levels have their own specific collectibles, such as the steering wheels in downtown Bikini Bottom or the artwork in Rock Bottom. Collecting those additional collectibles grants you an additional golden spatula. You also have the ability to not only play as Spongebob, but also Patrick and Sandy, and each of them have their own abilities. Spongebob has the most, where he can use an uppercut move, he can throw a bubble blowing ball, and shoot a bubble rocket at enemies. Patrick can carry heavy objects to throw at enemies or to better traverse levels, such as throwing the freezy fruit into goo to walk across it. He can also throw enemies after he stuns them. Sandy has her lasso, which she can use to whip around the level or glide or attack enemies. I would say Sandy is my favorite character out of the three, since she has so much more maneuverability than SpongeBob and Patrick, and her lasso is a bit overpowered from a distance. You can literally just spam your lasso before landing on another platform, making platforming with enemies a lot easier. As I said before, combat is simple. Most robots can be defeated with one hit. However, some robots you have to approach differently than others. There is one where if you get too close to it, it will shoot a laser at you. So if you're SpongeBob, you have to sneak up to it to attack it or use your rocket bubble. If you're Patrick, you have to throw an object at it, and if you're Sandy, you have to lasso it. Another robot blows oil bubbles at you and creates a puddle that can also damage you. Its shield damages you on contact, so taking it out from afar is the most effective strategy. Then there's this trio of robots where the one on the bottom releases this flame in a circle, so you have to time your jumps to get close to it or take it out from afar. The robot on top respawns the robots below, so if you don't take out the robot on top in time, you have to keep fighting them, and the respawn sends out this huge explosion with a ridiculous range, so this is probably the most annoying enemy in the game once thrown into larger groups. Platforming wise, I like it. It's simple for the most part, but it's fun. Sandy is probably the most fun with it because she can swing around with her lasso. I would say though the camera sometimes does get in the way. Starting off, you start with the smart camera option turned on, but I really didn't like how the camera would move in certain situations while I was jumping to platforms, so I just turned it off to have complete control, and honestly it made the game a lot better. However, once you turn the smart camera option off, once you go on these trampolines, the camera automatically shifts above you, so you can't really see where you're going, so it does get kind of annoying. The majority of the game is fairly easy. You know, it's a SpongeBob game, so I don't think you would expect it to be too difficult. However, on occasion, the game may throw a difficult puzzle, or difficult platforming section, or heavy combat section. For example, the ball puzzle on the Merma layer. You have to activate these switches at the right time to make sure the ball doesn't fall and eventually unlock the golden spatula. It's a fun puzzle, though it's awfully slow, so screwing it up does suck as you watch the ball slowly roll down again. I did take a few tries, especially with the last few steps, since I'm embarrassed to say I did that. The Sand Mountain level also takes a while if you're trying to collect all the collectibles. This level has a specific collectible, which are the Sandmen. I don't know why they did this, but only the second route contains the 8 Sandman that you have to run over for Patrick's sock. But if you died or exited that route, you would have to start over. I got confused at first because I thought all the routes contained the Sandman, not just the second route. So I just didn't know why it kept resetting back to 0, so maybe it's just a glitch or they intended for you to get it all at once. I don't know. Either way though, no other collectible in the game resets back to 0, so if this was done purposely, it's just confusing, especially since you have to go through the second route multiple times in order to run through all the Sandman, so one screw up would mean you have to start all over. This isn't the only level of you sliding down though, an obstacle course, and these sections are pretty fun. Also, for some reason, the fog is ridiculous in these sections. It makes it hard to see what is ahead of you, so you can miss some of the different pathways that you need to go through in order to finish the route in time or get a collectible. Spongebob's Dream, I would say, can be challenging at first. If you rush through platforming, you will die a couple of times. However, it is pretty fun, especially with the section with jumping onto the musical notes in Squidward's Dream. The combat section in Mr. Krabs' Dream was difficult for me until I just realized I can spam the bowling ball, so after that it wasn't too bad. The boss fights, however, aren't really difficult, like, at all. I would say though, Robot Patrick and Robot Spongebob are the most difficult, but that really isn't saying much. You do have to do some platforming while fighting these bosses, so it does mix it up a little bit. The others though, you just have to dodge easy attacks and attack at the right openings. For the most part, you really shouldn't have a problem 100%ing this game. Unless a golden spatula glitched out on you. Yeah, this game isn't polished, and that's really what's holding this remake back. There are some audio bugs, like hearing repeating sound effects, or visual bugs. The game is just all over the place at times. But yes, the worst glitches of them all are the glitched collectibles. 2 golden spatulas for me got glitched. The one you receive at Squidward's house would not appear for me. I ended up getting Patrick's sock first before jumping around Squidward for the spatula. I heard that's what glitches it. And also, one of Mr. Krabs' golden spatulas got glitched on me. I picked it up, but it didn't count. I've read on Reddit that other people have had issues with many other collectibles, including Patrick's socks. For a collectathon that has glitched collectibles, that is very disheartening. So I ended up replaying the game and constantly saved between my last 2 save files in case a collectible glitched out on me, so I would have a backup save. Luckily though, I ran into no issues and I was able to perfect the game and got all the achievements for it. So I can definitely see why a lot of people are disappointed at this game, because it is not polished and many people have experienced the same bugs as I have with the collectibles. However, in the end, I still had a blast playing this game even on the second playthrough. It's not perfect, but I just have so much nostalgia for the show. I watched this show throughout my childhood and it's probably my most favorite cartoon show of all time. So seeing these characters again in video game form just puts a smile on my face, even if some of the voice actors aren't the same.
Well done, SpongeBob. Now, how's about giving old Mr. Krabs that shiny gold? I'll give you promotion.
The game has some funny references that made me laugh. They even have the bus in Rock Bottom ditch you if you go next to the vending machine. This game is basically a greatest hits of the show. The levels bring you to places from the show like Jellyfish Field, Sand Mountain, Goo Lagoon, and the Kelp Forest, just to name a few. With these upgraded graphics, these levels look great. Patrick, are you spying on Sandy or something? The fully animated cutscenes look great, and the characters really shine through this. It looks very well done, and I couldn't wait until the next fully animated cutscene came. It's just great to relive my childhood in video game form. I haven't watched the show in forever since we all know that it went downhill. So it is nice to see these characters again.
I'll do it so fast, it'll make your head spin faster than a horny toad on a merry-go-round.
Wait, I don't remember that line being from the show. In the end, if you're a SpongeBob fan, you probably won't be listening to any of the reviews bombing this game, and you'll probably still buy it because of the nostalgia that it'll bring you. Honestly, that's fine. It's not a bad game by any means. It's not a perfect game, but you will still have an enjoyable time with it. Hopefully though, you won't encounter any bugs affecting the collectibles because that really could wreck how you feel about this game. However, it is still a $30 game only, so that's a great deal. Hopefully, the developer Purple Lamp Studios can learn from this game and hopefully make a new Spongebob game with better polish and more advanced game mechanics. That would definitely be something to look forward to. In the meantime though, they should work on patching this game up so it wouldn't disappoint those who just want to relive their childhood.